Steve, hello. The start of another England season. They're all important, of course, but does this one have perhaps more significance than most?
Yeah, of course. It's a World Cup year. We've got four very important qualifiers not too far away, and we've got a big game tomorrow against our local rivals. So it's going off with a bang, if you like, and all the players are excited and looking forward to an exciting year.
What are you expecting from that game? Because none of you will have played a full international against Scotland.
We're expecting a quick start, a high-tempo game. They're going to be well up for the game. They want to beat England, we want to beat Scotland. So we play against these guys week in, week out. So it's a good test for us. And going into the important games in a couple of weeks' time, it's important we go in feeling confident on the back of a good performance. So it's a big game for us.
From your perspective, has your club manager said to Roy, look, only play him for 45 minutes or an hour, or do you have a carte blanche to play the full 90 as far as you know?
I'm sure Roy Hodgson's had a call off every Premiership manager, hoping that players play very little time and all come back fit. But the Premier League managers have got to understand we're here representing our country. It's a big game. We all want to play as many minutes as possible, and we want to win the game, and there'll be no holding back because, as you say, it is a big game and we want to win.
Since England last played, Ukraine have had that big win in Montenegro. Has that changed the landscape in terms of qualifying from Group H, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's changed it slightly, the way the table looks, but from our point of view, nothing's really changed. It's still in our hands. We need to basically win the four remaining games, or certainly avoid defeat over in the Ukraine. We know the job we have to do, but from our point of view, not much has changed because it's still in our hands.
And you still remain confident that England will be in Brazil next summer?
Yeah, of course. I think it's important we keep everyone fit and try and keep the squad as strong as possible, but we've certainly got the players and the know-how how to get to a big tournament, and I'm really confident and have huge belief in the players and the staff we can all get there together.
Now, you've been training with him for the last couple of days, but how fit do you think Wayne Rooney looks at the moment, Steve?
Well, I think everyone knows he's certainly not match fit because he hasn't played in any friendly games throughout the summer, but it's the same old Wayne Rooney in training. He looks good, he's scoring goals, and he's certainly ready to play. He's prepared really well, but he needs these minutes obviously for his own personal fitness, and I'm sure he's itching to start tomorrow. You
two are good friends. Have you talked about his situation at Manchester United at all?
Yeah, we have,
yeah. And what sort of observations can you draw from that? Do you feel he needs a new challenge?
It's none of my business, and I don't think it's fair on Wayne for me to talk about what we've spoken about. But of course, I'm close to him. I respect his situation. But for me, it's all about how Wayne Rooney's feeling for tomorrow's game, and I'm sure he'll sort the other problems out himself.
And from England's point of view, just how important is it in terms of qualifying that you've got a fully fit, fully focused and happy and informed Wayne Rooney for those matches that are coming up?
Yeah, of course. I think he's shown over the years how important he is for this team. Everyone looks to Wayne for the inspiration and the key to help get us to major tournaments. He's one of our best players, so it's important he gets match fit as soon as possible, and we need him firing over these four important qualifiers.
Now, I'm very aware this is an England press conference, so I won't labour this point, but here comes the Luis Suarez question. You're a very influential figure in the game, Steve. Are you able to use your influence at all to persuade Luis Suarez to stay at Liverpool? And just how important is it that he does stay and listen to your advice?
Well, I think it's very important. He's one of the best players in the world, and I can certainly understand why clubs are showing an interest in him, and if I can use my influence to try and make him stay, of course I'm going to try and do that because I love playing with him and I don't want him to go. For Liverpool to be successful moving forward, we have to try and keep our best players.
And how hopeful do you remain that he will be with you next season, or this season?
At the moment, I haven't got a clue. That's my honest opinion. I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, but I'm really confident he won't be going to anyone else in England.
The player next to you, just how important is it that he stays fit as well for the qualifiers that are coming up?
Yeah, it's vital. I mean, I don't want to sit here and put too much pressure on Jack, but I'm a big fan. I've watched him over the years and he's a terrific player, and for me as captain of the team I want all the best players fit and available, and it's great that he's fit and feeling good. He's looked sharp in training the last couple of days, and it's been a huge frustration for myself and everyone, all the England fans and players, the injuries he's had of late because we can't get him out there playing with us.
Jack, do you feel this could be your breakthrough season, if you like, with England, through no fault of your own? It's been a stop-start international career, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, it's frustrating, but now I've had a full pre-season. I haven't had one in a couple of years, and hopefully I can stay fit now and get a run of games with Arsenal and then with England coming up the upcoming qualifiers.
And has Arsene Wenger come to an understanding with Roy Hodgson, do you think, as to how many minutes you might be able to play against Scotland?
I'm not sure. I'm sure he has, like Stevie said. I'm sure Roy Hodgson spoke to all the Premier League managers, but I'm aware of England. I want to play for my country, and Arsene Wenger understands that.
And in terms of your general fitness at the moment, are you able to start? Could you play the full 90, for example?
Yeah, I had a full pre-season, as I said, and I played, I think, 4 games now in pre-season, and no 90 minutes, but I think the next step is 90 minutes, and then I think I'll be ready.
Do you have any England-Scotland memories, or are you almost too young for them?
I'm a bit young, but I've grown up watching Gazzy. I remember the goal he scored in '96, and I remember the qualifier we had to go to the Euro 2000, and I think anything before that's a bit before my time.
What are you expecting from an England-Scotland game?
As Stevie said, we're expecting a tough start. it'll be almost like a Premier League game. The intensity, and there'll be tackles flying in. It's a friendly game, but it's never a friendly between England and Scotland, and we'll be up for it as well.
And in terms of England's qualifying chances, do you remain as upbeat as your captain?
Yeah, of course. The main thing is we must believe. If we don't, then we've got no chance. But it's in our hands. So we've got 4 games coming up. If we win all 4, then we'll be on a plane to Rio next year.
Steve, we just asked Jack for his England-Scotland memories, but we should ask for yours as well.
Yeah, the same. '96, Gaza was a big hero of mine as well, and I also remember the more recent ones when Don Hutchison broke all our hearts when they beat us 1-0, and Scholesy got a few up in Scotland. So we want to make our own memories, as you say, although this is a friendly. England v Scotland fixtures don't come around all the time, so we need to make the most of it and try and create our own memories.
Would you like to see that fixture on a more regular basis?
Yeah, definitely. This is a friendly game, but everyone's looking forward to it. It's got an edge to it because we know an awful lot about their players, and they know a lot about us. And I've enjoyed all the other close games we've played against Ireland and Wales, and hopefully more of these fixtures are not too far away.
Steve, do you think there will be an edge to it? Because it's traditionally thought maybe it means more to Scotland fans than it does to England fans. Is that unfair?
I don't think that's true. I think Scotland are bringing 20,000 fans down tomorrow, but I think we're going to have 60 in there as well. I think that shows how important it is to our fans, and this game will have an edge to it. It will be like a derby match, high tempo, and I'm sure the tackles will be flying in early doors, and that's the way it is. When you play against your rivals, everyone gets up for it.
Just going back to what Nick was saying, Strachan was saying this week that he would like to see this become a more regular fixture like it used to be, with the cash raise going to grassroots football, both in England and Scotland.
I think that'd be great. I think that's a great idea. Well said by Gordon. And as players, these are the games you want to play in. These are the games the fans want to watch, and I think this will be a great spectacle tomorrow.
Roy was saying this week that players can't bring their club problems to England. The two have to be divorced. But just how easy is that? But for both of you, actually, as players, when you've got stuff going on at your clubs, how easy is it to divorce the two?
I think it is difficult because, sometimes players have huge decisions to make, and, obviously all the spotlight's on them individuals. But I think, once the game starts, you've got to park whatever's going on off the pitch. You've got to try and concentrate and focus on doing the best job you can for your country. And that does happen once the whistle goes. But it is difficult, obviously, because sometimes players have to make big decisions, and unfortunately because of the time, and that happens when you're with England.
And Jack, the same question to you.
Yeah, the same. There's not much going on at Arsenal at the moment, so it's easy for me to... It's nice, to come away, especially when you miss so many games from England. It's nice to come away and meet up with the boys and relax with them and get to know them a bit better. So yeah, it's easy.
And Steve, just one more question for you about Cuthbert Osway. His grave was restored this week. Just how much do you actually know about his story before?
No, I'll have to be honest. I didn't know much about the story. I was aware that he was the England captain, and for me, there's no better feeling than leading your country out. So I'm sure he experienced what I'm going through now, and it's just great to join that list of captains of England.
Steve, you obviously know Rio Ferdinand well, and he said this week that he thinks England as a team at the moment is lacking a bit of identity. Do you understand what he's getting at?
Not really. To be honest with you, I'm not really too interested in Rio Ferdinand's got to say about this group of players. I think when you play for England, there's always a lot of opinions outside the group, and especially in a World Cup year, there's going to be more people voicing the opinions against the group, what they think. But you know, when we're inside, we don't really take much notice to what gets said outside.
Do you feel you have an identity, though?
Yeah, I do. You know, I think we're a good team. I think we've got some top players, and I'm really confident that we can, you know, prove that this year.
And just going back to you talking about the importance of Wayne Rooney as far as England's concerned, does it concern you that the longer his decision-making process goes on, that could eventually impact, if it's not sorted out, on the qualification?
Well, I think it's a scenario we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next couple of weeks. For me, the transfer window should be shut a lot earlier. Before the games start, it shouldn't go on whilst games are going on. But for me, as an outsider in that situation, I'm going to have to wait and see what happens with Louis, what happens with Wayne. But from my point of view, I hope Louis stays. I'm not really too interested in what Wayne decides to do at Manchester United. My focus is that he performs for England tomorrow, and I'm sure he will.